Hello, everybody. Good to see you today. I'm Steve Costello, and my colleague on the other side of the channel is Patience Morevi.
Hi.
And we're here today to talk about some aspects relating to Wired for Success. And what's Wired for Success? It's a program where it's all about young people. It's also all about parents and families as well. But our focus is working with young people to enable young people to move forward in a way that's positive and right for them. It's not about following the lights of the runway, because that is the only way to go. Not everybody needs to follow the same lights, but we'll get onto those things in coming weeks. But what we're going to talk about today, well, I was sharing a story with Patience, a true story from a time shortly after I qualified as a community and youth worker. I can't say the word. And I was working in a community and youth centre in South London, not far from the city of Croydon. And one day, a mum came to me and said, "How can you be qualified? You don't have any children." Wow, that was a great question, a big one. And I've got to be honest and say, momentarily, I didn't know what the answer was. I had experience of working with young people. I had a little bit of professional experience, but not a lot. I'd only just qualified, remember. I had the experience gained whilst I was qualifying for 3 years, placements, working in schools, youth and community centres, all kinds of things. And I had pre-qualification experience as well, working as a part-time youth and community worker. So I did know some stuff. I was also the eldest of 5 children, so I knew a bit about having siblings as well. So that was my answer. I had all that stuff to offer to their young people. But did not having children, make me any less qualified? I don't know. What do you think, Patience?
I think it's a good question. It's a good question overall, but it's also a difficult question in terms of like the trust that parents have when they are putting their children into a certain setting. So of course, you've got to build the trust. You want to know that whoever is working with your children have experience, they're certified, everything is, they understand the setting in which they're working. So for example, it's really easy to go and get, it's really easy. It's not easy, but we study, we go to uni, we study, let's say we become like a doctor, and still we need the practice to kind of like join the practice with the theory in order to make a rounded, if I can say, doctor individual. But there's always going to be things that are going to happen that you're not prepared for. What is important to understand, I think, with parents, but also in terms of professional, is that nobody has got the whole understanding of the whole universe and whatever is happening everywhere. However, it's a passion. I think it's a passion that people have, and often your passion overtakes the years of it, maybe the years of experience. It overtakes the fact that you didn't have children. And also, another thing is that we were children at one point. So we understand what it is that we were feeling at that time when we had other professionals around us and how they were behaving. So I think the rapport is not just in one way, it's like in, if I can say, multi-dimensional. so there's the dimension of like yourself, as in the professional when you were younger and you were like just a child, your rapport with adults or other people in authority. Then there's the dimension of yourself as a professional right now in front of this parent, explaining yourself. And then you have the parent wanting to trust the parent wanting to know that the child is in the right settings and with the right people, and who's going to have the best experience as well. And I think also there's an idea of like, I think it's really about relationships, if we can say it like that. So bringing it back to relationships and building that rapport. And I think when at the beginning, there's always this kind of anxiety also for the child, which we often forget to talk about the child, but there's anxiety with everybody. It's like, if I was to give another example, Steve, like when you go for a job interview, you think that you're the only one being stressed, but no, even the interviewers are stressed, you know? So yeah, I think there's different dimensions, but I like the fact that you draw onto your own experience to kind of like explain to her that you were actually fit for the role and that you could be there.
Yeah,
it's not easy.
Yeah, absolutely. I think multifaceted it's a great descriptor. I also use that,
Yeah.
and I use it because if I look at my own skills, I know between us we have an awful lot of skills, but particularly relating to mine. So I have a youth and community degree. I'm also a qualified psychologist. I'm a mindfulness practitioner. I've published some books, so I guess that makes me a writer. Somebody told me that, and I don't. And the funny thing is, I don't
Yes, you
consider
are.
myself to be a writer. But hey ho, there you go. So we've got all this huge package of experience that we share with people, and we do sometimes feel a little bit threatened, a little bit scared, a little bit. Are we doing the right thing?
Yeah.
Because we're human beings as well.
Exactly.
And that matters a great deal. And I was just thinking about, again, back to a conversation you and I had a couple of days ago. So currently it's back to school time.
Yes.
Well, we just passed back to school time for some of us. My daughter we've only got one child in school now. They've all moved away, they're in university or jobs or whatever. But one in school went back to school 2 weeks ago, and she's really cool about it. She hasn't been in the past, which is interesting. It's been, oh, really, must I? Do I have to? But this term, she's been really cool about it, really happy about it. And I think one of the reasons for that is because we spent a lot of time talking over the summer about the next 2 years, which are her final 2 years. She goes to school in France, so she's in what's called a lycée. I guess it's kind of like A-levels in the UK. It's kind of that point in school. But she's cool about it. She's happy. She knows where she wants to be at the end of the 2 years. And all is good right now. Okay, I know that next week it might not be because she's 16. So I've got some anxieties about, is she going to stay okay? Of course I have. But
I love it. I love it, Steve. The way you say that, because I was actually thinking, is when we say, actually everything went well and it seems to be okay, and then in the back of your mind you've got this little voice saying, well, everything's okay now. So but it might not be tomorrow. But I think that's the beauty of it. The beauty of it is to emphasize the positive that is happening right now, because what happens is now she's gone back and everything is fine. You've done all I would say, the groundwork to make sure that everything runs smoothly. Obviously, we've got challenges and barriers along the way, but still, what is amazing is that you can always speak what happened and come back, take it as a comeback to like an anchoring place of, oh, you remember when this was happening and you were actually feeling okay with it. And they can understand and they can see, I think they've kind of young people, they kind of like understand that, oh yeah, actually is not all bad. You know, like sometimes where they can get really extreme in their feelings. They go from one extreme to another. But it's finding that balance and seeing that, this today is not good, but look, yesterday or last week was amazing. Look at the conversation I had with dad or mom at that time in the summertime and things like that. And you use that as an anchor to kind of like help them to, I would say, soothe whatever is happening. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that's great. And it is one of the things that we do a lot of. I know we're short on time. These short episodes are going to be around 10 minutes, as near as possible to 10. It's difficult, it's a challenge, but we'll get there. So one of the things that I was thinking about, and I think this is worth looking at next time, is that a lot of the work we do, sometimes I work with individuals, so particularly on coaching or psychotherapy. So sometimes it has to be with individuals, but there's also a great deal of wonderful successes with groups. And one of the beautiful things about groups is that you're with a group of like-minded people, similar age people, you know, so there's some connection goes on before the group really does anything.
Yeah.
Groups are great places, you know, so maybe we can talk about being in a group next week and see where we go with that. What do you think, Patience?
Yeah, I think that's amazing. And plus, like you said, there is so many ways or so many ways to bring conversation. But when young people are with their peers, they tend to like intensify whatever is being discussed. So I think that would be a great discussion for next week.
Brilliant. Right. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Please don't hesitate to share this video or point people toward the video. We're interested in talking to lots of people. The more people we talk to, the more people move forward, the more people grow. And that's what we hope to achieve.
Exactly.
Have a wonderful day.
You take care. Bye.
Bye.